Joe, as you continue your journey toward the priesthood, it's essential to understand how the Episcopal Church views human nature according to our Catechism in the Book of Common Prayer. So let me ask you, who do you think we are as humans according to our faith? Joe responded, "Well, I suppose we are created by God, meant to love and serve Him. But I imagine there's more to it, right?" Father Michael replied, "Absolutely. The Catechism tells us that we are part of God's creation, made in His image. That means we have an inherent dignity and worth because we reflect something of God's nature. However, it also acknowledges that we are fallen beings, meaning we struggle with sin and separation from God." Exactly. Our Catechism explains that human nature is a paradox. We are created good and made for relationship with God, but we also turn away from Him through sin. This is why we need redemption and grace. Not quite. We reflect God's image, but we are not God. Being made in His image means we have the ability to reason, love, create, and choose between right and wrong. It also means we are called to live in community, caring for one another and for all of creation. Joe asked, "But if we are created good, why do we sin?" Father Michael replied, "That's an age-old question. The Catechism explains that while we are made good, we misuse our freedom and often seek our own desires instead of God's will. This is what separates us from God. But here's the good news. God never abandons us. He continually calls us back, offering grace, forgiveness, and reconciliation through Jesus Christ. Our purpose is to glorify God and serve Him, both individually and in community. We are called to seek justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with God. The Episcopal Church teaches that our journey of faith is about growing into the fullness of Christ, learning to love as He loves. So in summary, the Catechism teaches that we are created in God's image with inherent dignity and worth, given free will, which we sometimes misuse, leading to sin, separated from God by sin, but always called back to Him through grace, meant to live in community, care for creation, and serve God and others, called to seek holiness and grow into the likeness of Christ. Joe, understanding human nature through the Catechism helps us see who we are, why we need God, and how we are meant to live. It's the foundation for everything we do as Christians and as future priests. Now let's end with a prayer, asking for God's wisdom to live according to His design for us. Some key takeaways for you, Joe. We are created in God's image, with dignity and purpose. We have free will, which we sometimes misuse, leading to sin. Sin separates us from God, but His grace calls us back. We are called to live in community, serving God and others. Our journey is to grow into the likeness of Christ, seeking holiness. This lesson helps Joe understand who we are as humans in the Episcopal tradition and prepares him for his journey toward priesthood. Amen.